Yo. What up? All right. A big update for Reanimal. Yeah, I saw the Beagle rescue. Yeah, what Wayne was doing was really great. He's doing an amazing job. Uh, bringing light to that whole crazy animal experimentation thing. Did you poop your pants yet? No. I've been able to be a big boy and not poop my pants. It's been a while since I pooped my pants. Quite a while. I think the last time I pooped my pants, I was kind of lucky. Only a little bit of diarrhea slipped out and didn't reach my undies, so I just had to like wipe my bum. So no catastrophic pants pooping situations. Quite a while. I think the last time I like really shat my pants where I messed my underwear was that would have been like 13, yeah, maybe 14 years ago now. I think it was before I started my YouTube channel. I got like some really fucked up virus after I did a photography gig at some nightclub. And I was just shitting water for weeks. That was fucked. Pretty sure I almost died from that. Wayne conducted an open rescue operation with Direct Action Everywhere, where they rescued a bunch of beagles from a research facility. That's the beagle situation. Nah, never play a Geometry Dash. I'm super gay. Anyone want to bang me into oblivion? I'm not quite that gay. I feel like if I was gay, probably would have had less problems. Men in general are definitely easier to deal with. What's up, VG? I'm getting stronger and bigger. What about you? I made really, really good progress over the last few months. Gained a lot of muscle, a lot of strength. I'm just taking the next like week, maybe week and a half off. I just need to recover. I'm a little banged up. I'm taking Anavar right now just to help with recovery and some collagen synthesis and stuff. You know, repair some of the tendons, soft tissues, crap like that. I already feel it helping. Anavar is super, super potent. Like, it fucking works, dude. It's kind of crazy how, like, these drugs are just so fucking effective for recovering from injuries and stuff, and just nuts how there's just this weird roadblock to getting access to them. I'm not going to be taking the Anavar for long. I don't know exactly how much I have in the blister pack that I have, but I think it's only going to last like a week or two, something like that. I think that's going to take a while to update. I'll just start playing Cuphead. Cuphead. Yeah, most gay dudes seem to have pretty hot female friends. Oh. That's why. I started with the wrong save. That's why I didn't have the power-ups that I had in the other... Fuck. Okay, whatever. We'll just roll with it. Oh boy, this is something else.
Here's a real high-class bout. You're up.
Yeah, this is just... Oh my god. Just horrendous. Oh my god. Damn it! Fucking asshole. Ah, fuck. I think that's the furthest we've gotten.
Here's a real high-class bout. Now go.
Yeah, being gay is gay. Can't deny that. But I think that's the point. Fuck! Shit. Oh my god. Some crazy bullet hell shit. Damn it! Oh, fuck.
This match will get red hot. Now go.
Damn it. Oh my god. Ah, crap. You got a Trisha Paytas Domino's ad. That's interesting because I put ads on manual. So YouTube just plays ads anyway. Yeah, that's what they do. I don't understand why they even give you an option to, like... If they're just gonna lie...
A great slam and then some. You're up.
Like, they may as well just automatically optimize ads if they're gonna do that shit. I don't know why they don't. Oh, motherfuck. Damn it. That was a bad one. You bought Impossible Nuggets shaped like animals? I like Impossible Nuggets. I think the Impossible Burgers those are the best, like, Impossible product I've tried yet. I tried the Impossible meatballs. I don't know if I like those any better than the Gardein meatballs.
A great slam and then some. Now go.
I wonder if you can shoot that bird. Oh my god. Ah, shit. It's literally a hot dog. Fuck! Ah, damn it. It's weird. Some of this shit looks like it's in the background. Okay, we're making progress. Can you react to Dr. Furman mogging Paul Saladino?
Here's a real high-class bout. And we get...
This is like hour 38 minutes, dude. You like nuts? Fuck! Damn it. Okay, that's... yeah, we're fine.
Good day for a swell battle.
I mean, I'll likely play Hollow Knight at some point. And Silk Song. What's Silk Song? Fuck. Maybe I should store up energy for that, like, super bomb thing. Damn it. You do build the super bomb energy pretty quick here. Oh, fuck. Ah, damn it! That fucking pork chop. The way it moves. Damn it. Silk Song is Hollow Knight's successor, came out a few months ago? Okay.
Good day for a swell battle. You're up.
Fuck, oh my god. I think you can shoot that bird before it, like, does anything. I think you can. Fuck. Yeah, we're probably just screwed at this point. Sometimes I pull off a miracle. Ah, damn it.
This match will get red hot.
Saladino is raging hard. That's funny. Usually he keeps calm. He reminds me, like, I know he has a degree in, like, he's a medical doctor and he specialized in psychiatry. I could see how the guy is, like, does have a psychiatry background because he keeps cool and calm. Like, I've seen a lot of psychiatrists. He does come off as a guy who's done psychiatry. Damn it, I don't know if that did any damage to him. Yes. Ah!
Good day for a 12 out. It's on.
Cuphead isn't the controller breaking kind of game. It's really hard, but never felt like I want to break the controller playing Cuphead. It's, the games that really make me want to break the controller are games that are just unfair. Like, there's just some bullshit, like, I've definitely wanted to break the controller playing games like, Jak and Daxter 2 and 3. Because there's some levels in those games that are just fucking horseshit. Like, where it feels like you're getting screwed over. With, like, some kind of unfair challenge. Fuck. Damn it. Damn it. Oh, just relaxing, playing some Cuphead. That's what life's all about. Know what I'm saying? Think you know what I'm saying. It's on Furman's channel. It's about 15 minutes. He uploaded it today. Oh.
A brawl is surely brewing. Here goes.
What's his channel? Okay.
The evolutionary past of humans, the fact that we evolved eating meat, that the unique nutrients in meat made us human. And this is really difficult to debate. You can look at studies like this one, looking.
It's weird, because never seen a cat turn into a human. Never seen a dog turn into a human. Bears are somewhat human-like, but they're still not human. I think whales and dolphins, they're not human either. Seen a lot of animals eating meat, but they're not human.
Looking at Paranthropus and other species, that there's a diversion between Paranthropus robustus.
Mac Daddy doing chillers, can you please react to the new Spider-Man trailer? Not gonna lie, it looks fire. They're going the organic webbing arc 2, like Toby. If you can't stream it for copyright, can you watch it? Not playing it to us and then give an initial reaction. Punisher's in it too. Really? Let me see. I should be able to play it. It's Sony. Usually they don't give me issues.
I can't believe our first hit MIT!
Okay. Oh, okay. So he, like, mutates?
Jay, come on, pretend like you're not the happiest you've ever been in your entire life.
I can't.
I knew it!
Hi, my name is Peter Parker. You don't remember me, but we used to know each other. Something bad was going to happen, and the only way to stop it was to make everyone forget about me. Because I'm not just Peter Parker. I'm Spider-Man.
The hell, Frank? You just hit me with a van!
Quit your whimpering. Suit yourself.
Go home!
And sometimes Spider-Man has to do the hard thing, even if it breaks Peter Parker's heart.
That's interesting. So Sony got a license to Punisher. Did like Netflix get a so did Sony always hold the license to Punisher and they just got a license from like Netflix or something?
What is happening to me?
So is he gonna turn into Man Spider in this? Because that's what I'm because like he's mutating. So I wonder if he's gonna turn him into Man Spider.
Excuse me, Dr. Banner. I need your help.
What did you say
Banner. Hulk's gonna be in it.
your name was?
So is this not? Yeah. Okay. So this is just a Marvel. Okay, this is just a Marvel licensed movie. I was thinking Sony.
If DNA is mutating, it could be enormously dangerous.
Spiders have 3 life cycles. When between cycles, it can leave the spider vulnerable to threats.
We are faced with a danger that we can't control. One we can't even see.
Stay out.
I don't know what villain that is. What villain is that can like take over other people's bodies?
Of my way.
Hey, Scorpion.
You're losing it, kid.
And for those spiders who make it through, it amounts to a kind of
Wait. Who was
and for those spiders who make it through, it amounts to a kind of spiders who make it through. It amounts to a
Oh my god.
kind of
Okay. So I'm assuming that's the hand? The Ninja Clan, the hand? Yeah, that has to be the hand, right?
rebirth.
I wonder if Daredevil's going to be in it.
Nice flowers.
Oh, they're a housewarming gift.
I'm MJ.
I'm just a neighbor from across the hall.
Friendly neighbor.
That could be better, than the other Spider-Man movies. I was kind of surprised. I liked the one with Mysterio more than I thought I would. I still haven't seen the one with Doctor Strange. I've been mostly uninterested in all the Marvel movies. I just don't like how they cast that guy as Spider-Man and made him Spider retard, basically. And he just got Tony Stark to make all of his spider gadgets. Like, I thought that was stupid. Like, Spider-Man's supposed to be a genius, and then they got they basically made the guy act like a retard and then just got Tony Stark to do all the smart Spider-Man things.
Justice and Homo habilis and Homo erectus. Paranthropus was a plant eater. He went extinct. Australopithecus evolved into Homo habilis, who was eating more meat. This is evidence for this in bone and teeth. And so it's very clear from the evolutionary evidence that humans evolved eating meat, from the nutritional evidence that meat provides so many unique nutrients, and that when we decrease meat, we have worse outcomes. I can show.
Yes, that's why people who eat less meat live longer, right?
So many studies, and believe me, Joel, I have them at my fingertips.
This is the same guy who said the carnivore diet gave him all these health problems. But then he's saying the less meat we eat, the worse our health outcomes. This guy's eating less meat than he was before, and he says he's healthier. So, like, this guy just contradicts himself constantly.
Fingertips to show you right now. I can show you so many studies showing the vegetarian diets lead to myriad nutritional deficiencies. You can look at your brain.
Would you say MGS5 is better than MGS Delta? Like, from a gameplay standpoint, like controls and everything, yeah, Metal Gear Solid 5 is better from a gameplay standpoint. Like the stealth control mechanics, shooting mechanics, like all that, they're better. Like, it has the advantage of just being a more modern game. I would have liked them to have imported the control scheme from MGS5 and put it into Delta. Delta has a much better story, though, and like MGS5, there's so many missions that were just like filler, where it didn't feel like you were advancing the story or doing anything, which I didn't like. Like, you know, MGS3 is just a more traditional Metal Gear kind of focused, story-driven game where like everything you're doing feels like purposeful and like it's leading somewhere, whereas MGS5, there was a lot of missions that just felt like time waste. That's the problem with 5. But yeah, if they would import MGS5's control scheme into Delta, that would be like a perfect Metal Gear game.
Response to meat. How is it possible? Why? It doesn't make any sense that all of these epidemiology studies would show a true finding. And you can look at the Asian epidemiology study.
This guy says epidemiology is useless, and then whenever there's like a pro-meat eating study that's like, you know, epidemiological in nature, he has no problem with saying, oh, look, meat's so great for you. But then when there's like a study that shows plants are better for you, he just does the, oh, epidemiology thing is useless. Like, he's like Bart K. He has no epistemic standards.
These and the interventional studies with red meat, which show it to be not inflammatory and improve outcomes. All of it adds up in my mind to the fact that red meat and organs and fat are at the center of our diet. And we have to take a critical eye toward the epidemiology. I'm not ignoring it. I'm saying, whoa, this doesn't add up. This doesn't pass the sniff test. This is crazy.
Like, again, nobody has an issue with the studies on alcohol consumption, cigarette smoking, other recreational drug use. That's all epidemiological. You can't create a randomized trial with cigarette smoking. I'm not sure if there's any randomized trials with alcohol consumption. I don't think there are, for a similar reason. You also can't have randomized trials with like crystal meth use or any other hard drugs like cocaine or heroin. But again, nobody has a problem with, just prospective cohorts when it comes to things like that. But then suddenly when it's something that you're ideologically motivated by, that you have like a personal issue with, suddenly, oh, epidemiology is useless, but I trust it with like literally everything else.
Why would it be bad for us? And then you get into the realm of healthy user bias, unhealthy user bias, and things
This guy doesn't know what healthy user bias is.
Start to make more sense. I'm not denying it, but what I'm saying is that in the West, the prevailing narrative is strong. I know you don't go to McDonald's, and I don't go to McDonald's. But I would ask the listener, I'm almost done. I'm finishing in the next 30 seconds. Please don't interrupt me. You got to speak for a very long time, Joel. I let you speak for over 10 minutes. In the United States, when you go...
Randomization means you get a study population and you use some sort of randomization technique to eliminate any kind of selective human bias when it comes to putting certain participants in a certain group. So rather than a human being saying, you go there, you go there, you go there, like you go into the treatment group, you can go into the placebo group, you go into the treatment group, you go into the placebo group, you'll use like a random number generator to assign individuals so there's no bias when it comes to selecting what study participant goes into which group. And typically with randomized trials, they also have like additional controls so that you can make sure somebody's like adhering to a certain treatment program or not adhering to a certain treatment program. Like you can like basically force people to get a certain amount of exercise or eat certain meals or take certain drugs. Whereas with prospective cohorts, they're more of like a free living kind of experiment where you're just looking at how people behave in a free living environment. You just ask them, okay, how much do you smoke? How much do you drink? How much meat do you eat? You know, what have you? And then you just look at, okay, like, do we see people who smoke more, drink more, eat more meat? Do we see them have more health problems? Whereas in a randomized design, you're telling people to eat a certain amount of meat or take a certain amount of drugs or whatever. And then you see if there's a difference between the treatment and non-treatment group. And a lot of randomized trials are placebo controlled. You can't do that with like nutrition studies, or generally you can't do that with nutrition studies. Sometimes with supplements you can. Yeah, a lot of randomized trials can be like placebo controlled.
Go to McDonald's. Who orders a Big Mac with no bun, no special sauce, no lettuce, no tomato? No one. People are eating red meat with other junk food and observational epidemiology.
So everything he's saying here is just complete nonsense. You can control for those factors with food frequency questionnaires.
Will forever be confounded by the inability to separate those two. When you go to a barbecue, and I don't know if you go to barbecues where people eat meat, but when you go to a barbecue and there are people eating meat, who eats a steak with no mayonnaise, with processed soybean oil? Who eats?
You know, what's funny, you can make the same kind of argument if he like, makes the suggestion like, oh, all the vegans you see are like sick and weak and emaciated. Like you could make the same argument where it's like, oh, well, what vegans, consume the right amount of protein and make sure they eat at least a block of tofu per day, are supplementing with B12. Like, yeah, no vegans do that. So the people you're talking about just aren't doing it right. Like you can make that same exact argument he's making in the opposite direction and say, you don't have any research showing that eating a plant-based diet is actually less healthful. You're just selecting from a population who just doesn't know how to eat properly. Which is what he's doing with like these meat eaters. Like whenever you point out, oh, all the meat eaters are like fat and sick and dying. Oh yeah, but that's because they're eating it with like mayonnaise.
Eats a steak with no brownie or Coca-Cola or processed sugar. This is not the behavior of Americans, and observational epidemiology cannot distinguish between any of these things, and it is why that...
Yes, it can. This guy does, like, he's literally never looked at a food frequency questionnaire.
Argument to say, let's rely on the entirety, the majority of the data, is false. It's building a house on sand. You're building a house literally on a landfill full of garbage studies that are based on inconsistencies, and it's leading to problems in your followers. And so, as I said, I would respectfully reflect back to you the same challenge. How convinced are you that you are not leading people to ill health, to increase rates of bone fractures, to increase fragility, to decrease...
Yeah, speaking of bone fractures, if we were to like fight in a cage, who do you think's more likely to break their bones, Paul? Like, give me a fucking break. This guy used to look pretty robust and like strong and physically fit. I think he still uses that old photo he took of himself from way back in the day. Yeah, he still uses this photo. Yeah, there's this photo where he was clearly larger and stronger. Like you can see, like look at the size of his neck. You can see the size of his arms and his shoulders and everything. This was before the whole carnivore retardation. And then he went on the carnivore diet, and the guy's aged like 10 years in the last like 5 years. He's smaller. He looks smaller and weaker than he was. I've seen his training videos. This guy is not particularly physically fit, and you can maybe make some excuses for him where he is kind of an older guy, like he's nearing his 40s. or like he may be over 40 at this point, but most men actually peak in muscularity around the age of 45. For some men, it's at the age of 50 where their muscularity peaks, but generally speaking, your average man, if they're physically active, they're going to peak in muscularity at the age of 45. So he's not at the age yet where you'd expect him to lose muscle, and he has lost muscle mass after he's done this whole like fucking carnivore. You can see it. Like, just look at the size of his neck. Look at like his shoulders and his arms. You can see like there's just less mass in his upper body. And like this guy is talking about how, oh, you get so much nutrition and everything from red meat and it's so good for you. And all these vegans are weak and emaciated. Like, it's just a joke that this guy is like saying, oh yeah, vegans are at higher risk of bone fractures. Like, again, if we were to get into a cage, who's more likely to break their bones?
Mental processing, to decrease libido, to decrease muscle mass, to decrease longevity, to decrease...
Yeah, decreased muscle mass. That's not what's going on here. And I know people are going to say, oh, steroids. Yeah, I'm on fucking steroids now, but this was me pre-steroids. I was able to bench 410 pounds before I went on steroids. So I was jacked before, way bigger and stronger than Paul ever was, and ever will be. And now that I'm on steroids, that gap has only widened. So, like, again, give me a fucking break.
Intelligence.
Joe donated $2. Let me see.
This is Zero Avenue in South Surrey, and these picturesque homes sit smack on the border. This side is Canada, across the street, the United States. No fences or concrete blocks, just a little ditch and signs warning, don't even think about crossing.
Oh, it's very secure, yeah.
And people follow the rules except for one resident. Him. Unfazed by jurisdictional authority. He is the Canadian border-jumping kitty cat.
Oh my goodness.
Illegal.
What?
I think it's because he's got 4 legs, not 2.
Decidedly confident, ignoring the watchful gaze of border agents and that machine in the sky that's as useful as the dog as far as he's concerned. Several times a day, almost every day, he shows little interest in international law and carries
How come the cat can cross the border, but I can't?
on his very important work of mousing.
He's a cool little cat, keeps coming back and forth and says hello to everybody.
His name?
Louis.
Officially, Louis Vuitton, like the designer, and his styling cross-border feline feet.
Paul probably has retarded opinions on steroids. Like, generally speaking, if you're not on steroids, you probably have a stupid opinion on steroids, because if you knew anything about them, chances are you'd probably be on them. So, yeah.
Feats are now so famous.
I love it.
He's become a local legend and a social media star.
It's a bit mind-blowing. He kind of flaunts his recklessness for the law.
Now, Mr. Vuitton is particularly good at catching all sorts, and he has been known to smuggle the goods across the border and leave them on the doorstep.
I bet he did not declare them.
We're not sure whether U.S. agents have caught up with him for questioning. We do know he had no interest in a TV interview.
Doesn't go through customs. He's got a pause.
On July 1st.
I love kitties. Thanks for the donation, Joe. I keep getting fucking scam calls, dude. It's crazy. Yeah, what's funny too is Paul was business partners with Liver King, and everyone knew that Liver King was on steroids. Like, give me a fucking break. You know, like, I can understand, like, there's a lot of dudes who are kind of on that border where maybe they're on gear, maybe they're not. Like, you could make the argument, okay, they're like a really, really exceptional natural lifter. Liver King was so over that border, like he was very obviously, clearly fucking juicing his ass off. Sure enough, it turns out the guy was on like 2 grams of gear per week, plus I think he was taking 10 IUs of growth hormone, and it seems like it was Serostim because he was spending 10 grand a month on just growth hormone alone. So, and then this guy was like, oh, I believe he's natural, and like he was using some juiced up roid head to sell his stupid fucking supplements. Like, the guy's a fucking joke.
And processing by asking them to shun meat. Because if you are going to challenge me with that, that must be reflected back to you as well.
I agree with that point of view, by the way.
Yeah, I saw the Gypsy Crusader fight. They just had him fight like some dumbass. Any advice to help with depression? Yeah, 2 basic things. Like, one is a mindset change. Happiness exists between trial and triumph. You need to do difficult things that have a delayed gratification. There's this curve when it comes to happiness. You're not ever going to be constantly amazingly happy. Like, you know, you like when you find new love and you have sex for the first time, something like that, like where you're just peak happiness, you can't feel any better. You're never going to be able to sustain that. Your brain just doesn't work that way. So you are going to have normal ebbs and flows, which is fine. If you have prolonged depression where your mood is just constantly low, that's not normal. You're supposed to have like ebbs and flows, but you're not, like, everyone has bad days and stuff like that. But if it's just prolonged for months or even weeks, like, that's not normal. But yeah, happiness exists between trial and triumph. The problem that a lot of people have is they'll get into this mindset where if they are feeling down and sad and depressed, you try to look for easy ways out where you'll eat junk food or go back to smoking cigarettes or like drink alcohol or do drugs or something like stupid. You'll hear about people who like doom scroll when they're depressed, like jerk off to porn like crazy. You know, shit like that. Those sorts of habits where you're just looking for some sort of easy way out, that's only going to make you like stay in the depression or make you more depressed. So happiness exists between trial and triumph. What ends up happening is if you have like some goal in mind and a very, like, this is, I think, why exercise, particularly weight training, is so effective for treating depression, is because there's a goal in mind. Let's say it's like benching 315 pounds. There's this long phase of delayed gratification towards getting to that goal where you make these small little improvements week to week. And there's this anticipation effect where you realize you're getting closer and closer and closer to that peak goal. Anticipation and hope is a huge aspect of happiness. That's why a lot of people enjoy playing the lottery. There's like that anticipation effect, like, I hope I win, I hope I win, I hope I win. That happens when you do something like intense exercise, like weight training, where there's like a very obvious specific goal you're trying to reach. A lot of people enjoy like building their own business for a similar reason. It can take like months or years to like make any good amount of money, but as things are growing and building and you're kind of reaching some goal, you get that benefit of the anticipation effect and you keep seeing things improving week to week or month to month. And you're basically taking control over your own life, and you're realizing you have the power to influence your own fate. And I think that power aspect of it too is huge for like just having positive mental thoughts. Again, a lot of people who are experiencing depression, they'll specifically mention things like they don't feel like they're in control of their own life. So like they feel like they're forced to go to work and it's against their control. They feel like they're forced to deal with people that's outside of their control. Like they may talk about bad relationships where, again, like things just seem like it's out of their control. And a lot of bad habits like eating junk food or drinking or smoking. It feels like the habit is in control of them rather than some volitional act where they're choosing to do something. So choosing to reach some sort of goal through volitional acts where you feel like you have a sense of control over your own fate, you're enacting your will and power in a way that is beneficial to you. And you have that delayed gratification where you have this long anticipatory phase towards reaching goal. That's really important for sustained happiness. So if you're in a rut and you feel depressed for weeks or months on end, it may feel very difficult and like shitty, and you don't want to get out of bed. You don't want to motivate yourself. You don't want to give up junk food or whatever bad habit you're doing. You need to get out of that rut and force yourself to do something that's kind of uncomfortable and difficult. And in doing so, you're going to feel better almost immediately. And again, like it's a little counterintuitive because if you feel shitty, you want to do something that's easy to make you feel better, but that's the whole problem in the first place. And it never works. Every time somebody tries to like unfuck their brain, like by like when they feel depressed, and they try to go after something that's like an easy out, it never works. And then they do it again, and they do it again, and then they do it again, and then they end up getting to this like really deep, shitty fucking hole of despair where like they end up drinking like crazy or eating shit food all the time, getting fatter. And so you have to basically do things that are volitional acts where you're enacting your will and you're proving to yourself that you have control over your own fate, that you can influence things in a way that are beneficial to you, and that have that anticipatory effect where you're reaching a goal with a delayed gratification. That's where happiness is found. Secondly, as far as drugs are concerned, I wouldn't recommend taking antidepressants unless you're severely, severely depressed. I think where antidepressants are useful is with preventing suicide. So I've been there, done that. I've had really severe suicidal depression. There is research showing that, yeah, these drugs do work in that way. Like, I'm not against drug use, but I'd recommend staying away from antidepressants unless you have really severe depression and you're like literally thinking of jumping off a building, taking your own life, something like that. They very likely will improve things to a point where it'll at least get you out of that mindset and you can kind of get on with your life, but you have to have those lifestyle aspects in order as well. You can't just rely on the drugs. The drug that I would recommend, especially for men, if you're dealing with depression and it's persistent, is testosterone. And there's several reasons for that. There's testosterone is dopaminergic and GABAergic. It does just make you feel better. Everyone who starts test will tell you they just feel like $1 million fucking bucks when they get on it. It just makes you feel fucking fantastic. It is the most effective antidepressant, as far as I know, ever made. It's extremely well tolerated, extremely safe. It has all these other benefits that antidepressants don't, like SSRIs. SSRIs are known to cause erectile dysfunction. They also numb sensitivity to your penis and make it harder to like ejaculate. So that's a really nasty side effect of SSRIs that a lot of people hate, and that's a big reason why a lot of people get off of them. Testosterone does the opposite. It actually increases your sex drive, makes sex more pleasurable, and all that shit. It makes you better at sex. So you get all the benefits, the mood-enhancing benefits, and the mood-enhancing benefits are more powerful, and it does the opposite of what SSRIs do, which they cause sexual dysfunction. Testosterone does the opposite, causes like, what would be the opposite of dysfunction? Like it makes you just more sexually competent. On top of that, because of the GABAergic and dopaminergic effects, what it does is it makes you more motivated to enact the lifestyle choices that make you more prone to happiness. That dopaminergic effect that testosterone has, that makes effort feel better. So dopamine is a molecule that motivates you to do things. It's not just like a feel-good molecule. It's a molecule, like it's a neurotransmitter that's released that makes you motivated to do things. So the kind of good feeling you get from completing a task, accomplishing something, it's heightened when you do testosterone. So you're even more motivated to exercise. You're more motivated to work, more motivated to make money. And again, that whole thing I talked about where, trial and triumph, where you have to enact your will and you have to have that long anticipatory effect. Testosterone makes you more motivated to do those actions, and you get more satisfaction and those feel-good feelings from doing all those things. So it's basically a perfect antidepressant. So doctors are fucking idiots, by the way. I think it's like a literal crime that men, like the first drug that's considered for treating depression isn't testosterone, especially when it comes to men, because men want to be more masculine. Like with women, yeah, sure. Like you have to be careful with some of these anabolic drugs because you don't want women to turn into men. But yeah, because that kind of risk isn't there with men, it's crazy to me that that isn't the first drug that's considered for that antidepressant effect, especially when you're talking about prolonged treatment-resistant depression. It's nuts. So, that is my advice for dealing with depression. I've also made a video on this. It's on my channel. I haven't uploaded that many videos since I made it, so it's easy to find. It's one of the... It's really up there on the list of recent videos. I can't remember what I titled it, but I talked about a mushroom trip where basically internalizing nihilism and realizing that I have control over my own mind and will. Yeah, how I cured my depression. It's right there. That's the video. I recommend watching that. That might also give you a bit of insight. But even without that mushroom trip and that kind of mindset change that I had, just going on testosterone, I can guarantee you like 90% of the problems I had would have been fixed if I had just gone on testosterone. And what a lot of doctors will tell you, oh, the normal range for testosterone is somewhere between 250 and, like 900 nanograms per deciliter in a man. If you're at the bottom of the reference range, that's not normal. Men should be at the top of the reference range. There's a ton of data on this. Men with higher testosterone levels are healthier, live longer, have less health problems. So if your testosterone is at like 3 or 4 or 500, it really should be closer to 1,000. And from what I've seen, at least anecdotally, most men seem happiest when their testosterone is at least 1,500 to 2,000 nanograms per deciliter. I've also linked research on this when I did my response to Greg Doucette. There's actually a dose-response relationship between testosterone administration and mood-enhancing effects. So the more testosterone men take, the better they feel, and I've experienced this myself. I've started off on a dose of testosterone. Why is this not loading? I've started off on a dose of testosterone of 210 milligrams per week. Right now I'm on 437 milligrams, bumping it up to 437. I feel better compared to 210. Why the fuck isn't this loading? Oh my god. It's oh, is it because of the... There we go. Association of testosterone treatment with alleviation of depressive symptoms in men, systematic review and meta-analysis. So basically the important points here. Testosterone treatment appears to be effective and efficacious in reducing depressive symptoms in men, particularly when higher dosage regimens were applied in carefully selected samples. So what they found is they tested doses up to 600 milligrams per week in men, which is a very high dose. You are solidly juicing at that point. Most TRT regimens will have you on about 150 milligrams. So 600 milligrams, you are fucking juicing. And I'll give you an example. This is the physique transformation I made in 2 months on 210 milligrams of testosterone. I gained about 20 pounds of muscle mass in only 2 months taking 210 milligrams. So if you're taking 3 times that, 600 milligrams, you are solidly fucking juicing, buddy. But what's interesting about this is there is an extremely high level of tolerability. There was no significant difference between acceptability of testosterone treatment and placebo. So men who are on 600 milligrams testosterone, they had no difference in tolerability of the drug compared to placebo. So this is an extremely well-tolerated drug. You will not see a relationship like that with antidepressants. They're not very well tolerated. So like this fear-mongering about test is just ridiculous. It's an extremely potent, very effective drug for mood-enhancing effects, and it should really be a treatment that's first considered when you're talking about like I would say at least like treatment-resistant prolonged depression where you're consistently depressed for long periods of time. If you've been suffering from depression for years where it's pretty persistent and consistent, where like maybe only every so often you get relief, but it keeps coming back, the first drug you should really consider taking is testosterone. Again, especially considering the tolerability, all the benefits it has, you really should be on testosterone.
Suicide or self-help topics. What the hell, YouTube?
Self-harm, not self-help. But yeah, I mean, it is kind of a shame that they do block what I think was a really like it didn't block it, but I understand why they do that. Like some videos are over the top and it's hard to manage these things, but I think that was a really important video for people suffering from depression. I think it did help a lot of people. Thanks for the donation though, Dodo. Not even trying to take the piss, but don't you get roid rage? No. So I went on steroids and then people clipped some of my streams where I got angry, but I was like that before I was on steroid. Like I get angry sometimes. A lot of people are also clipping my workout streams. What's going on there is like I'm trying to focus on lifting. I'm deliberately hyping myself out and like hyping myself up and putting myself in like an aggressive, kind of angry, fuck this shit, let's get this done sort of mindset so that I can really lift effectively. And then when people leave dumb comments on stream, I hype myself up and got myself in that mindset. And then, yeah, I flip out at some people. I'm not normally like that. Like I'm pretty calm, and actually after I started going on testosterone, I've been a lot happier and more calm, and things tend to bother me less compared to when I was off. And I think that's in large part due to
Jurian Ryder.
Yeah, we're not blocking that word anymore. That's not a no word anymore, but thanks for the donation, Durian Rider. I think the reason I got so angry and agitated pretty easily before steroids was because my estrogen was very low. I didn't know this. I didn't get any regular blood work before I went on steroids, but my estrogen was actually quite low. It was below 20 picograms per mil. When I went on testosterone, it went up to 65 picograms per mil. And estrogen does have like mood stabilizing effects in the brain. It does make you feel more calm and happy. if your estrogen's very low, you can get agitation, anxiety, stuff like that. And especially when I would diet very lean and my estrogen would get even lower, I would have severe agitation pretty much constantly. But yeah, on testosterone, even when I'm very lean, I stay very calm. And it's because the testosterone helps me convert more estrogen, and that has some mood enhancing effects. So the roid rage thing's a myth. I think the only steroid that you can say with a very high degree of certainty, like, increases your proclivity to have a short fuse, get angrier, would be trenbolone. I don't see that kind of thing with any other steroid, like maybe with the exception of halotestin. A lot of people report getting like rage from halotestin. But tren certainly, because of the sheer amount of anecdotes I've seen. There's no human research on it, obviously, but just the sheer amount of anecdotes I've seen. Trenbolone is the one where I'd say, yeah, roid rage is a thing. Pretty much everything else, with the exception of maybe halotestin, doesn't seem to really have any negative effects in terms of like rage, anger, stuff like that. So, why do you need drugs in order to function properly? Because our biology does what our biology does, and modern medicine can fix that.
By the way. And I'm critical of a lot of vegan diets out there. And I also, my nutritarian diet attempts to go for, it teaches comprehensive nutrient adequacy and making sure all the nutrients humans need are present in their diet.
But
and
you can't get all those nutrients from plants.
Hold it. Let me say something. Right, you can't get all those nutrients from plants. I'm not disagreeing with that. Now, by the way, in all the blue zones, which are identified by scientists as having the longest lived populations of the world alive. You can mention an African tribe that may be not that sick, but their overall lifespan is shortened by the fact they're not exposed to enough plant material.
Not true. There's no evidence for that.
Hold it.
You can't make that statement.
You wouldn't let me interrupt you for like 10, 15 minutes.
I'm just saying that's a false statement.
Let me just speak for 2 or 3 minutes then.
Yes, please.
Okay, because I have a few,
Oh boy, he's already getting triggered.
Just a few. I can't remember everything you said. Let me just a few of those points. Number one, it's not true what you said about not controlling for refined carbohydrates, bread, the buns, other things. These epidemiologic studies are not done in Western countries, Western dieters. I just gave you the example on the Seventh-day Adventist study on healthy vegans versus people in the same diet with more or less only modifying the amount of meat they're eating, otherwise having the amount of other plant foods being fixed and not eating junk food.
Yeah, they adjusted for that in the Adventist Health Study. They had a substitution analysis where they looked at meat consumption and same amount of fruit and vegetable intake.
There are multiple long-term studies where they control for those factors with oil consumption and processed grain consumption, and looking at all the different foods that people are eating in those studies, also showing the same data. So what you're misleading, you're giving misleading information. It's not true that all those studies are confounded. You have very brilliant scientists showing that as you raise processed grains and high glycemic carbohydrates, you cause damage. And as you raise animal products and you reduce consumption of beans and nuts and whole vegetables, you also cause damage. And that vegetables clearly are the foods. And I have this acronym GBOMS, which stands for greens and beans and onions and mushrooms and berries and seeds, that are the foods with the most consistent and powerful association with reduced risk of all types of cancers. Now, nobody's saying here, and I also, by the way, in my blog at my website, drfurman.com, on my blog, I commented on that vegan study with increased risk of fracture. And I went into detail about the study to show that how these English vegetarians and vegans were eating such a junk food diet, and most of their calories came from processed carbohydrates, and their diet.
The reason there was the higher risk of fractures in the vegans was because there was a lot of women in the group that were literally anorexic. That's literally what it was.
It was, and I analyzed the calcium in their diet; it was inadequate. I analyzed the protein in their diet, which was inadequate, and I showed that. And I showed compared to the nutritarian diet that I recommend, with obviously much higher in calcium and protein. So I'm also not defending the fact that a vegan diet could be deficient in is deficient in B12, omega-3, zinc, K2, and for some people with higher amino acids. So, and all these things have to be considered when you're advocating the right diet for each individual person. But that doesn't change the fact that as you move a diet with a low amount of animal products to a diet with excessively higher amounts, approaching what we do in America and approaching what you're recommending to very, very high levels, you're putting people into a severe danger zone, and your logic is not even, doesn't even make sense, because a little bit of animal products adds some important nutrients to your diet, and that makes it okay to not eat, to disavow eating a diet high in vegetables, beans, nuts, and onions. You don't have to eat those foods. Instead, you can eat a lot of animal products because a little bit have some beneficial nutritive effects that you don't get from a completely vegan diet. It makes it now good, safe, or better to eat a diet of all animal products and not eat enough vegetables and beans and nuts. And I'm saying is we have a limited dietary portfolio. We only have a certain amount of calories you eat each day. And as your dietary plate is taken up by larger amounts of animal products, you're accordingly lowering your amount of calories from these very protective foods, reducing your risk of cancer. And that's what these studies show. They show as you can tweak, as you put animal products down to lower levels, and when you go down all the way to a vegan diet, yes, then you have to substitute EPA, B12, K2, extra zinc is beneficial to your immune system because zinc isn't absorbed as well from plant foods. There's things you have to use.
A little debatable if zinc absorbs as well, but I still recommend zinc supplements.
That's good to hear. I just sent 10 more Durian Rider donations into the past for 2023 vegan gains. Durian Rider, 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 Durian Rider.
Yeah, thanks for that donation, Durian Rider. You should see what hormones do in pregnancy. I'm 2 months postpartum. Wish I was a dude that could hop on TRT. Women can take testosterone. You just have to take less. So I would probably recommend around 20 milligrams per day to start off with for a man, which would equate to around 140 per week. My mom is on testosterone. She's taking 15 milligrams per week. So whereas a man would take 20 milligrams per day, a woman would probably want to take somewhere around 10 to 15 milligrams an entire week. So you can. And if you look at women's HRT protocols, they very often do include some testosterone. I'm sure you've heard the news that male testosterone levels have been declining. The same thing's been happening in women, actually. Female testosterone levels are also declining. So it probably is a good idea if you're a woman to check your hormone levels and see if your testosterone is low, because that would contribute to mood disorders. But again, a lot of doctors don't know about this, won't tell you about it. They have some weird ideological fucking stance against hormones, and they'll just tell you bullshit like, oh, it's dangerous, you shouldn't do that, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, my mom's been taking 15 milligrams of testosterone, feels great. She's gotten bigger and stronger in the gym. She hasn't had any virilizing effects. Usually when women are prescribed testosterone by their doctors, it's done in context of asexuality. So women will be in like a long-term relationship where they will have absolutely zero sex drive, and it's driving their partner crazy. So, like, a lot of the time, testosterone is prescribed to women to increase their sex drive. It will do that, which I don't see that as a bad thing. Like, I think a lot of women could benefit from higher sex drive, and it'll make their boyfriends or husbands a lot happier too. Let's see.
React.
Let me see, Dodo. He went in the wrong direction there. Are they, like, avoiding the ball? Wow, that goalie sucks. Was that supposed to be interesting? Okay, thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Hey VG, what would you suggest to help me start producing sperm again? Since I've been on test, I'm not producing anymore. I want to freeze my sperm but don't want to stop test. Is it as effective as stopping test? Thanks, man.
Most doctors would recommend HCG monotherapy. I would recommend looking at Vigorous Steve's videos on this. There's apparently a weird thing that happens where, especially if you're on high doses of test and other anabolic drugs, what it does is it actually makes you more likely to have female children. For some reason. So if you want a male child, you may want to be off testosterone for a while and just do HCG monotherapy. And then after you've done that, freeze your sperm, and then like those sperm are kind of more likely to give you male children. Like what I would do is like once you're with a girl that you know you want to have kids with, you can either do HCG along with testosterone and see if that gets your sperm count up high enough, or go off testosterone for a while, just do HCG monotherapy or whatever other fertility treatment, and then have kids. I don't think I'd really bother freezing sperm. Like, there's problems with it. Your sperm aren't good indefinitely. You can't just freeze your sperm when you're like 20 and then at 80, like, use those same sperm samples. So, like, if you're just on, like, even if you're on high doses and just juicing like fucking crazy, the likelihood of you having permanent infertility is incredibly, incredibly low likelihood. The cases where you see dudes who've been on testosterone who have like zero sperm, and no matter what, even when they come off, do HCG monotherapy for years, they still can't have kids and they're producing no sperm. They already had infertility issues before they were on steroids. So they're kind of an outlier. Like Ronnie Coleman fathered 8 children. That guy was juicing his ass off. You can see plenty of pro bodybuilders who ended up having kids when they're in their like 40s or 50s after years of juicing super, super fucking high doses. So it's not the like it's not a thing where you really have to worry about never being able to have kids. If you're in a situation where you've been on like TRT or maybe like TRT plus or whatever, and then you have no sperm and you, no matter what you do, you can't get your sperm count up, you already had fertility problems. It wasn't the steroids that did it. So, yeah, like my recommendation personally would be just wait until you're with a girl you know you want to have kids with, and then like consider your options in terms of fertility therapy. There's plenty of dudes who conceive children like blasting fuck tons of gear and not doing any fertility treatment. Like Ronnie Coleman did that. He had like, I'm pretty sure every fucking child he had, he ended up having kids with his partner while he was blasting gear, prepping for, you know, each Olympia. So he had one kid for every fucking Olympia he won. So it happens all the time. There was another guy who, he's a Middle Eastern dude. I think he might be Iranian. He has a YouTube channel. He was talking about this. He thought because he was on fuck tons of steroids, he wouldn't be able to have kids. And then sure enough, he ended up getting his girlfriend pregnant while he was prepping for a contest. He just got so super horny being on like Test and Tren and shit that they're fucking all the time. And then he ended up having kids. So it's not like this fertility killer that a lot of people talk about. But yeah, like it's very rare that you're going to be in a position that you will never be able to get your sperm count up. Very rare. Thanks for the donation though. Hey man. You can also take a look at Man Medicine. He's done some videos on this, and Vigor Steve has also done some videos on that. You might want to check it out. Thanks for the donation, hey man. Sleepy donated $2. Let me see. Yes, kitties make biscuits. Gum Gum's really good at making biscuits. Yeah, some cats really like getting their bum spanked. Prismo really liked it when I spanked his bum. Gummy's not a bum spanking cat. He just likes getting his bum rubbed. He doesn't like getting his bum spanked. But yeah, there's a lot of kitties that like getting their bum spanked. That's a nice kitty. Cats love boxes. That is true. Thanks for the donation, Sleepy. Would you ever consider becoming a dietitian or doing some other academic pathway? I could see you doing well in research or working with vegan clients. Well, I definitely wouldn't go to school to be a dietitian or anything. I just don't see that being worthwhile. Like I've talked about this before. If for whatever reason YouTube didn't work out, like, you know, if my channel got banned or for whatever reason I started making less money, like not enough to get by, like I would do online coaching and do like nutrition, diet, exercise consulting, stuff like that. I've done that before. I just don't like doing it, especially when I'm also doing YouTube at the same time. It just... My whole day just ends up being nonstop, like just work and doing stuff and just thinking too much. I like having a bit more like space and free time, and then, you know, getting into YouTube and focusing on that rather than, oh shit, I have to write out a whole diet thing for a client and a whole training thing for another client, another diet thing for another client, and this client needs to do a consult, and then this client wants some changes to the diet, and like this client needs some changes to a training routine. Oh shit, now I gotta train. Oh shit, now I gotta stream. Oh shit, now I gotta do some more stuff for a training client. Like it just ends up being too much, and the consulting stuff is very boring and monotonous and tedious. So especially when I have to do work like that and you get through my whole day doing other stuff, it just ends up being too much. But like, it would be something I would do if, you know, the YouTube thing didn't work out. I still do some of that here and there, for like friends of mine. Like when somebody really needs help, and they're willing to pay me, like I might have like one person that I'm helping with stuff like that. But yeah, as far as doing that, like as an actual gig, I kind of want to avoid doing that.
There's things you should do that you would get better from meat, and you can accommodate that or use a small amount of animal product, but that's not the argument here. The argument that I'm making on this podcast, on this interview, is that the diet style that you and other people are advocating a high amount of meat that are recommending that is too dangerous to consider because the data is overwhelming, and by you disavowing that data, you're doing yourself a disservice and putting yourself at too high a risk and your followers at too high a risk. And you know, the idea that all these nutrients that are so important in meat, and I'm saying, well, there's thousands of nutrients, antioxidants and phytochemicals that you might get in tiny amounts, and a couple of them here and there, but it's the huge variety of phytochemicals that has phytochemical synergy. And I can show you studies that adding flax seeds reduces risk of, here's an interventional study on people with breast cancer followed for 10 years, showing a 71% decreased risk of death from breast cancer over that 10-year period.
That's not you have to be very careful when you're talking about these are relative risk reductions. These are not absolute.
Here we fucking go. the whole absolute versus relative risk reduction is such a silly thing to point out. If he's going to say you should only look at absolute risk reductions, not relative risk reductions, then there should be no reason for you to quit smoking if your main concern is lung cancer, because lung cancer is so rare in the general population of non-smokers that even if you smoke like a pack a day, your risk of lung cancer goes from like 0.01% to like 1%. So it's like nothing. You're more likely to get heart disease from smoking than lung cancer. Like it causes another, like a number of health issues, but like it's just an example. It's like, okay, are we being serious right now?
Risk reductions, Joel.
Okay,
like
so we're still talking about, we can talk about, that's a different,
like even if the absolute risk isn't that major, like why wouldn't you just do something beneficial for it? Like if there's a 70% relative risk reduction from something very simple, like just eating a bit more plants, why wouldn't you do it?
Remember that Tyson Hockley kid you debated? Apparently he's taking Tren now. Zerka weighs in.
So that's why he gained a bit of muscle mass. You could make 1,000 times more gains if you followed a normal test GH protocol while keeping your hair and organs alive. You have made a serious miscalculation. I didn't know he was on Tren. I'll actually message him. Yeah, he doesn't know what he's... I'll actually leave a voice message for him. That'd be easier. You don't really want to use Tren during like a weight gain phase. It's not a good idea. Hey dude, saw you're on Tren. I will tell you, you probably do not want to rely on Tren for weight gain for a variety of reasons. It's not a great compound for putting on muscle mass because it's a mitochondrial uncoupler and it makes you like require way more food than normal. You would actually be better off just relying on test and, if you can afford it, growth hormone. But even just test, it's such a safe, effective compound. You can take it in higher doses compared to Tren. It's also a bioidentical hormone, and it's not a mitochondrial uncoupler. So you're probably going to get better muscle growth on just test, and you can take a look at my Instagram. I gained 20 pounds of muscle taking only 210 milligrams of test in only 2 months. So on top of that, like if you're not on test and you're just taking Tren, you're probably going to have issues with like sexual dysfunction, mood, and shit. If you ever want to talk about gear use, feel free to reach out. It would kind of be an interesting topic. Yeah, you shouldn't really rely on Tren for building mass. It's not a great choice for a variety of reasons. Thanks for the donation though, nigga. Sleepy, you don't need $2. Let me see.
Our creation. We have one really long one, so you should for sure be able to reach that one. Look at that.
My goodness.
Oh, Gary, look at that.
Oh.
Gary was loving it and he was pretty mesmerized, and Kurt was too, but he just wasn't going after it.
Oh. Oh my goodness, she got it.
He got one.
Wow. Kitties are just so wonderful. I love kitties. They're good. Let me see. Your brain is too good for just nutrition consulting, nutrition plans, etc. Dietetics is far more interesting, more options. I don't want like a normal job kind of thing. I'd rather just do more like creative stuff, you know, and just have like a bit more flexibility with my free time.
The treadmill for my cats and they could not figure it out. At first Gary was super confused, but after watching me, he seemed to get the hang of it.
Keep walking. You gotta keep walking.
But after the initial success, he just seemed to get confused again. So Kurt came to test it out and he had his own way of trying it.
Come on. Keep walking, Kurt. Come on, Kurt. Kurt, that was adorable. I gotta give you this treat for that. Good job, buddy.
Yes, you gotta get all your...
We tried this for a while, and Kurt and Gary both just could not seem to figure it out. But it was adorable, and Gary did eventually
my goodness.
get him a treat.
Oh, they're not good at the treadmill.
Seeing how many times Gary will adjust his paw back in.
No, he wants it in.
Oh,
just one.
Only one. Ah, there it is. Two. Three.
He wants it in.
4.
No, he wants it in. Leave him alone. He wants it in.
Okay, I think if it stays there for like 10 seconds.
He wants it in. Just leave it in. Thanks for the donation, Sleepy. No, my mom isn't just taking Anavar. She was at first. She's not taking Anavar right now. She took a break from it. Right now. Right now, she's just on test. She's also doing HRT.
Absolute or relative. I understand what you're saying.
You're inflating the numbers.
I'm just giving the numbers it says in the results of the
but
study.
You're not reporting them accurately, so I'm just correcting you.
No, I'm reporting exactly what the study states in the literature that's published and has. These are peer-reviewed data with scientists reviewing the data, checking their accuracy, published in medical literature. So, and you're saying, well, that data. But in any case, I'm showing you that the data. There's so much data, and there's so much careful data. And I think that you're making some major errors by disavowing all the data you don't like. And I'm not disagreeing with you on other aspects and saying that there are vegans eating unhealthfully, and there are certain nutrients that vegans have to be concerned with, and that primates, and we're a primate, and as a primate,
we're a hominid. We're different.
We're a primate species.
Different species than a primate. Let's be very clear about that.
That's not okay. That's a semantical disagreement.
We're a hominid. Well, our guts look completely different. I mean, I want to let you finish.
No, they don't. Our guts are not different.
They're completely different than primates, Joel.
We're a great ape species.
Yeah. Okay.
Our guts are completely different than primates.
My end of my sentence there was saying that we're dependent on a large amount of plant matter for good health in the long term. Because of our genetic history, we're dependent on that. And we look at populations like the Maasai or like the Eskimos or like the ones that you're bringing up. When we look at them, they all who have higher degrees of animal products.
American Museum of Natural History. Humans are primates, a diverse group that includes some 200 species. Monkeys, lemurs, apes are our cousins. We all evolved from a common ancestor. Because primates are related, they're genetically similar. This is according to the American Museum of Natural History. Humans are primates. It's just like taxonomy. What's the... I can't remember what the like weird taxonomic... What is it? Like I know what is it? An ape is any animal that is under the is considered it's not phylum or kingdom, it's anything that's in the classification of hominoidea or something. Okay, it's order. Yeah, primate is an order. And the superfamily would be hominoidea. So it's order primate, and then it's under the superfamily hominoidea. Paul is like literally a fucking retard. So yeah, it's superfamily hominoidea, and it's order primate.
And limited exposure to plant foods. They all have...
Dude, what a fucking... Like, that is just so stupid.
I think a lot of Christians would disagree with you, though, VG.
Yeah, well, I don't really care about people who believe in the adult version of Santa Claus. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. Like for a guy who like fucking will ramble endlessly about evolution. This is the way we evolved. Oh, it's evolution. Like, he doesn't fucking understand what a fucking primate is. You can't make this shit up. Like, oh my god. $882. Let me see.
Welcome to the program. We're going to focus in the next few minutes on a story that's been breaking, and that is the attack on the South Pars gas field in Iran. This news coming to us from a news agency linked to the Revolutionary Guard Corps in Iran. It's reported the fire teams were dispatched to contain that blaze. South Pars is a portion of the world's largest natural gas field. It's shared by Iran and Qatar. The Qatari Foreign Ministry condemned the attack as dangerous and irresponsible. What affects one side of the field does have the potential to affect another. It's one big base.
What's funny is, didn't Iran attack Qatar?
And the two countries do liaise on how they manage it. And in response, Iran's issued evacuation orders for 5 energy facilities in the Gulf, in Saudi Arabia, the UAE and in Qatar. And as a result, there you've just seen on your screens.
I don't think this is a coincidence that this is close to the 21st, because apparently the IRGC is supposed to get paid out on the 21st, but those payments should be blocked due to the US and Israel bombing their banks, and they committed some cyber attacks, so that would prevent payouts. So IRGC ain't gonna get paid. Nobody's able to make any fucking money because they're like, you know, all their like, you know, gas industry is basically getting destroyed.
Oil prices suddenly climbing again, topping $108 a barrel in early trading. That's up 5%.
Yeah, I had to fill my bike at the pump, and I was like, what the fuck? I didn't get much gas for $20.
On yesterday's prices, I've just been watching, in fact, as the indices turned red. The benchmark for UK gas price also rising by nearly 6%. Let's bring in our North America business correspondent, Samira Hussain. And the reason for that, not least the retaliation that Iran is promising, Samira, is because this gas field, it is one. And if there's a fire at one side, as I say, it potentially has an impact on the other side of the gas field.
Right. So the enormity of this kind of an attack, because it has such a cascading impact on a large swath of Iran's oil and gas reserves, it really could have quite a huge impact in terms of how much oil is getting out of Iran. Now, you couple that with already the statements by the international maritime organizations that is saying it is just far too dangerous to have any kind of military escort for these ships through the Strait of Hormuz. You're seeing an intense amount of pressure on oil prices, which is why you're seeing it go up to more than $108 a barrel. And depending on whether we see any kind of retaliation from Iran, we can probably see those prices going up even higher.
Yeah, Germany's Friedrich Merz has been speaking in the last hour, Samira, saying that it's to everyone's detriment, this war. And that is reflected by this strike, because Iranian gas, which has been flowing to Iraq, has suddenly been suspended. So Iraq now suffering from presumably a gas shortage as a result of this. Everybody is affected in the energy markets by what is going on in that Gulf region.
Absolutely. And if you look at the impact, especially when you're looking at the Asia-European sort of trajectory in terms of getting things out of that Strait of Hormuz, you're seeing quite an intense amount of pressure. Now, we know that some Iranian oil is getting out to other countries, that the other countries have made individual agreements with Iran for their ships. So, for example, India has been able to get some stuff out of the Strait of Hormuz, but it's really an ad hoc. And so it might be alleviating a little bit of pressure for some countries. It's not the kind of blanket movement of goods that we saw before this war. And of course, the concern is that these energy prices, if they continue to climb like this, it could push the entire world into a recession. A global recession is very much possible.
Yeah, a lot of pressure coming from Washington, particularly on those NATO countries. I wonder if you could respond to this, Samira. We've just had this from Johnny Beale, our defence correspondent, who says John Healey, the defence secretary here, has had important discussions today with defence ministers from France, Germany, Italy and Poland on the Strait of Hormuz. I
would say that's good news.
All right, good morning.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, we're not. We've already reacted to this for one thing. But yeah, we're not watching that. Also, people are saying that Netanyahu is dead. If you're making propaganda, I can understand telling a lie. That's hard to debunk, but why one that's not? So, the reason you see stuff like that is because it's basically a test to see where your propaganda is going, who's receiving it, and how effective everything's getting out into the public. So if you're running some kind of propaganda campaign, you will periodically see propaganda that is very obviously a lie and easy to debunk. And you do that for a deliberate purpose to see who's getting access to that information and how effectively it's getting out. So it's all part of those sort of psychological warfare tactics. But yeah, it is stupid. Thanks for the donation, eh? Forgot my notification. Don't need tillers. You better have a tarp, a cup, and a camera behind you, VG. I want cup. Don't worry, I'll get you cup soon. Thanks for the donation, dude.
Did you ever watch that new Netflix doc on the Manosphere? Sneeko and Myron were in it, but the main character in it was some British streamer called HS Tiki Tucky. He was the guy that beat up Zerka in a street fight in 2023.
I don't think I did. I saw that fight with Zerka. That was hilarious. Where Zerka started the fight and he just got absolutely ass blasted by the guy. But I don't think I saw that. Yeah, I definitely didn't see a Netflix documentary on the Manosphere. Thanks for the donation, though, Naga.
Important lifespan.
Show me that data. Show me the data. Pause. Show me that data. Show me that data, because their lifespan of hunter-gatherers is confounded by higher rates of infant mortality. This is called squaring of the morbidity curve. It is something I have talked about ad nauseum. I interviewed James Clement. We talked about this. If you look at hunter-gatherer populations, the Inuit, the Eskimo, the Maasai,
they all have very low life expectancies. They're all like in the 40s.
The Hadza that I just spent time with.
Yeah, their average life expectancy is like 40.
Their health span is much greater than ours as
well. No, it's not, because their average life expectancy is 40. That's even after accounting for infant and child mortality.
Western societies. And if you account for the high...
Like, buddy, this guy, I think he still has the video on his channel. He actually went out to visit the Hadza, right? I know Liver King did. I don't know if Paul himself has videos. I know I saw some shit on his Instagram where he went out and met the Hadza. Yeah, there he is.
In the woods, in the bush outside of their camp. And
yeah, see that? See this guy's teeth? The Hadza's health span is so much longer than ours. This guy's probably 25. And look at this guy's fucking teeth. Like, you can go to any... I'm sure all of us know somebody who's like, 60, 70, 80, 90 years old. Assuming they don't have dentures by that age, like, have you ever seen anybody's teeth that are that fucking jacked up, even at like 80? Assuming they still have their teeth. A lot of people do get dentures, but this guy's probably in his 20s, and his teeth are already like this. They eat a fuck ton of honey in their diet, and they don't brush their teeth. This is what happens when you follow the Hadza diet and lifestyle. You eat a lot of fucking sugar, and it's the worst type of sugar too. Honey is particularly acidic and fucked up for your teeth. And this is what you get. And this is, oh, their health span is so much longer than ours. Like, buddy, this guy is a candidate for a full, like, denture set. But he's claiming their health span is longer than ours. Are you fucking kidding me?
Found some bush honey. You can see with all the
honey.
stingless bees.
Yeah, and you can see what it does to their fucking teeth, right? There's his teeth. Oh, look what you can't make this shit up. This is what you're supposed to eat, and then look at his fucking teeth. Are you kidding me? Oh my god, this guy's a fucking idiot. And, like, by the way, like, they prattle on about, oh, their health span is so long, they stay healthy into old age. Do you see anybody in this, like, group of people that they're ever with that are, like, 80 years old? So, yeah, that kid is, like, what, like, 15? This guy is probably, like, 25, and he, like, fucking crazy-ass crow feet. So, all these men that you see in these videos that, like, Liver King and Paul Saladino made, you won't find a single one of them over, like, 40. Here's another clip. I don't know who this guy is, but you can see all these dudes who go out to meet the Hadza. Like, what? This guy's probably in his 20s. This guy's probably, like, again, like, 25, maybe around 25. You'll rarely ever see anybody who's, like, 40. And it's because, again, their average life expectancy is literally 40. And that's after accounting for infant and child mortality. I saw an analysis where even after accounting for child mortality after the age of 8 years old, they still had average life expectancy of about 40. So again, there's Paul Saladino. This guy can't be, like, over the age of 25. This guy might be, like, 30. Again, mid-20s. That's like a teenager, little boy. Again, maybe 20, maybe around 25, maybe around, like, 20, 25, another little boy. So after all this talk about they live such long, healthy lives, and then they only, like, you only ever see these dudes on camera who aren't even over, like, 30. They're all dead by the time they reach, like, 40. Donate $2. Let me see.
So I just got finished adding a few new products to the Foods website. And if you guys didn't know, Frankie'sFreeRangeFoods.com has a bunch of non-perishable stuff that we just can't put on the meat website. It's too much to organize. It would be way too cluttered. There's just so many unique and creative products that I've come up with. We've kind of had to separate it into two websites, but you can see kind of like the latest and greatest 24 products we have right when you open the front page. So at the top, we have our new launch of the raw honey glucose, which we had a few years ago. Then we have a bunch of different meat products, the jerky, the biltong, pemmican, meat granola, as well as the marrow oil, just some special stuff. And then we have a few new unique things that are kind of random here and there. The original best bars, the cattle chips, the soft dried apples, our vanilla extract, or at least our take on vanilla extract, organic raw honey, and our cinnamon oatmeal. And then the third row is all organic candy products that I don't make myself yet. I can't make myself, that I've gotten from a local organic distributor that I like, especially, you know, for kids, or if you have cravings a few times a month. These are some really nice and creative products, from hard candies, lollipops, fruit snacks, Skittle replicas, peanut butter cups, and dark chocolate truffles. And then the last row is all of our natural lacto-fermented products that we make ourselves. The horseradish is available on the meat website too, but the other pickled products are not. So we have our garlic dill pickles, we have an Italian-style giardiniera with my take on it, we have a sauerkraut, and then we have some jarred russet potatoes, which are really convenient, basically just fully cooked potatoes that are ready to use, and our very special and unique white tomato sauce, which isn't as nearly as popular as I thought it would be. I'm sure someone's copying me and probably has it on the shelves right now, but if you guys go to Frankie's Free Range...
Nobody wants to buy white tomato sauce because it's white tomato sauce.
Foods.com. you can see these products as well as quite a few more that are in the various sections on our website. Like some of the different things you guys have seen me have in my diet, whether it's the udon noodles, coconut water. We got to restock the water, Kiefer, but there's definitely a few other things that I have not mentioned here that you guys might be interested in. So if you are a customer of FrankieStrangeMeat.com and you enjoy the unique high quality products, Frankie Strange Foods is kind of like an extension of that. And although I hope to be able to combine the websites in the near future, just adding this many products to the meat website and them not requiring ice packs or dry ice would be kind of crazy.
Clip from the doc from that Andrew Tate hate account gadget.
The interview you did with Bonnie Blue, I thought was
You saw that?
Yeah, it was interesting.
I just think she's disgusting, bro. I just think she's absolutely repulsive.
You've got 500,000 people on your Telegram, right?
Yeah.
And you're advertising OnlyFans girls on there.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a contradiction there?
No, because I openly say I don't give a fuck and I'm doing it for money. I don't care about
the morality of it.
I know it's not good. I say to people, don't watch porn. It's sad. It's loser shit.
You can't say I promote it, but I discourage people from doing it.
But you can.
We can say it, but it doesn't mean anything.
How does it not mean anything?
It's a bit like, say, come down to the gym, I'm going to help you work out, and then you come in the front door and there's just a row of donuts. Here's a box of donuts that I'm holding up to your face. If you eat that, you're a loser, but I'm going to go and work out now. It's like, well, I'm getting a very mixed message.
You do what you choose. If you want to go and eat the donuts, but I own the donut shop. So whether you come in the gym and pay for my PT or eat the donuts, I make dough either way.
You sound a bit like Bonnie Blue.
In what way?
You're saying it doesn't really matter what choices I make because I'm making money and my kids will enjoy a high standard of living.
Don't compare me to Bonnie.
It's rationalizing. Are you getting triggered?
I'm not getting triggered, but I'm just...
I want to watch that. That actually looks pretty hilarious. I understand the argument from both sides. Like, from his, I think he's not very good at articulating what he wants to say, and I don't think he kind of understands his own sort of moral view. Like, here's the thing. There's probably a tier of priorities that you have, right? So let's say, like, on a high tier, I want to make the most amount of money I can. Like, second tier, I kind of want to be helping people, be inspirational, and like help the world or help like maybe a certain group of people in particular. And then on the third tier, I kind of want to live a very moral, upstanding kind of life. So if your highest priority is making money, and your lowest priority is like living a very moral, sort of upstanding lifestyle, well, obviously you're going to prioritize like making money, and that's kind of what he's doing. And he's also making a point that everybody has like, the ability to make their own choices. Like, there is a recognition. Some people are going to choose to be losers or do degenerate shit. Some people are going to choose to be very hardworking, focused, motivated individuals. So if my main priority is to make money, well, there's two sort of business decisions you can make, or you can make them simultaneously. I can open up a donut shop and I can open up a gym. If people want to better themselves, I'll give them that opportunity, and I'll make a business where people can do that. I'll also open up a business where if somebody wants to be fat and unhealthy, they can do that. It's their choice, and I'll make money off of both of them. There's not necessarily a contradiction with any of those things. So, like, that would have probably been the best way to say it. But yeah, Louis Theroux kind of was able to catch like a dum-dum in like that kind of gotcha thing. But that seems interesting. Thanks for the donation, Nick. I'll definitely watch that.
Higher rates of infant mortality that occur in the wild. They live just as long as us. It is an absolute inconsistency. You are completely wrong.
Well, just as long as us, that's not very good. Just as long. I'm saying
they have a health span, but they live 70 to 80 years. Their life expectancy is 70 to 80 years.
But
and
our life expectancy of a healthy population should be at least 90 to 100 years.
Well, look, like there's no one living that long on the face of the earth.
Standard American diet, the poor diet, poor life.
Allow me to finish my thought. 40% of Americans die of cardiovascular deaths. Okay. It's not productive when we just do this. So one of us has to do a thought and the other one does. I jumped in, but just let me finish my thought. Then I'll let you finish, and then I'll respond to the things you said, and then I'll let you go skiing. So you were stating that hunter-gatherers have short lifespans. That's false. You cannot show me that data. And
buddy, like, you literally visited the Hadza tribe, and all the fucking dudes were like 20 to 25 years old. Where are the elderly individuals?
if you show me that data, I will publicly say that I was wrong. But that is not true. That is not true. There is squaring of the morbidity curve.
There's literally video evidence of this. Where are all the old dudes you hung out with who are like 80, 90?
These Hadza, some of them live to 80, 90 years old, but their life expectancy is just as good as ours in the West, and their health.
Then where are all the old dudes you hung out with? Were they camera shy?
Like, span is much better. And like I said, Joel, they eat meat every time they can get it.
We literally just showed the clip where he was hanging out with dudes who were in their 20s, and they had fucked up, rotten-ass teeth that needed to be pulled out of their fucking skull, and they're ready for dentures.
They are the most vital people I've ever met. They are super healthy. They don't have chronic disease. So that's just an anthropologic example. But for you to say that hunter-gatherers don't have the same lifespan as us is wrong, or that plant-based populations.
I'm not using the term hunter-gatherers. I use the term Eskimos.
And Maasai, which are hunter-gatherers.
Who eat a lot of meat. I'm saying high meat-consuming populations.
Right.
There are hunter-gatherers that may eat a lot of plant food, too, with their meat. Right? We're talking about as the people that exclude meat, they get it, and they don't have enough exposure to plant food, then they get it.
By the way, there's data on this. Eskimos that go away from their traditional diet where they're eating a lot of marine mammals, they actually have longer lifespan and lower risk of chronic disease when they eat more Western diets where they eat more like grains like bread, rice, and vegetables.
Get into trouble.
See, that's false. I don't believe you can corroborate that statement. I want to let you finish your thought. I want to let you finish your thought, and then I'm going to finish my thoughts because you mentioned blue zones, you mentioned the African tribes, you mentioned controlling for variables, and you mentioned antioxidants. So I want to respond to all that, but I want to make sure you have a chance to finish all of your thoughts.
Well, I do have to go, and I don't think this is becoming more productive anyway, because my main point, as you know, is that we have overwhelming, incontrovertible data that you can't throw out, and you just want to throw everything out. So, and I think that data is the high credence primary gold standard. So you remove the gold standard and you present junk as being this gold standard. So we're at an impasse that can't be solved.
Yeah, the guy has no epistemic standards.
Because I think the large-scale studies with large numbers of people followed for years with carefully controls of what the variables are. I think those.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's ridiculous. This guy's saying hanging out with a bunch of fucking bush people is better data than large prospective cohorts. Like, the fuck? And I mean, like, again, you can see it. Like this guy's saying, oh, the Hadza have the same life expectancy as Western populations. Why is it when you hung out with them, there wasn't like a single fucking person you could see that was over the age of 50? They even over the age of 40. All the dudes he hung out with, they were like either literal children or they were like in their teens, 20s. I don't even think there was a single dude he hung out with that was over 30. And they all had rotten ass fucking teeth. Like some of the most horrible fucking dental health I've ever fucking seen. Like, you can see it. Like, if you went into, like, a town or something, and everyone, like, children of the fucking corn, everyone was, like, a fucking child, no adults, they're all dead. Like, what does that tell you? Like, something is going on where the adults aren't living anymore, right? Like,
those are the gold standard. So, and I think that we have to use the studies that the long-term studies, when they corroborate the short-term studies, and they corroborate each other. A large number of them corroborate each other. So you can
I think I'm going to make a video response to that. That is just fucking psychotic. Paul is a fucking idiot. Jesus. Fuck. Fuck. Ah, damn it! That's gonna be a problem. Crap. Oh my... It is so hard to get those, like, pork chops. Either avoid them or do the parry with the pink ones. I don't know how the hell that hit me. That was weird. That felt like I timed it perfectly. Crap. Yes. Ah, crap. No! I was on a roll there for a bit. Oh boy. Damn it! Oh, shit! Getting closer.
Gypsy explain why he'll never fight for Arden's boxing event again.
Did they not pay him? That was an easy fight for him.
Oh yeah, no, Cuffin's a fucking coward, faggot, nigger, fat piece of shit, autistic looking cocksucker. And you know, he had every opportunity. He could have done something. He could have said
He did the black person thing. He did the ghetto-ass black person thing while calling somebody the fucking N-word. The fucking alarm, the fire alarm with the low battery. What the fuck?
something when I was there.
Jeez.
Didn't. So I will never fight on brand risk again. Never. There's literally no amount of money they can give me to do it again. I'll never fight for them again. And it's not because
oh my god,
they weren't professional or anything like that. They were very good to me. Like, let me just say this very quickly. The brand risk promotion was very professional. Like, everybody
like
that
perfect
worked with
timing.
Me, like even Kike, Ju Aiden, like they were professional for the most part. The only time that they were not professional was when we did the face-off interview, which really pissed me off. That made me really angry. But other than that, they were good. Like, they had security with me all the time, watching my back everywhere I went.
Oh my god.
They gave me my own dressing room. You know, they paid me very quickly. They helped me out. You know, They wanted to book my room and my flight. I didn't allow them to do that, but everything else, like, they were super professional about. But I just won't fight for them again because of the way that I was treated, like, with the crowd and with the commentary. I watched the fight, and the entire time the commentators are saying that this nigger is winning, but he's not. He's losing, and he's losing badly. And their whole...
How much was he paid? Because, like, that's bizarre. Like, this guy can't possibly have a good amount of money. Like, isn't he banned from practically every social media platform? Like, there's no way this guy's employable anywhere. I don't even know how the fuck he makes money. So if Aiden Ross is paying him a decent chunk of change, like, it'd be hard for me to imagine him making, like, less than 10 grand for the fight. It's kind of weird that that would be the only thing that would make him not want to fight again. Like, you won, and it was an easy fight, too. Who the fuck cares what the commentary team's saying? Like, he beat his ass.
Whole time, you just hear them saying, like, yeah, super hot, hit him, yeah, you got this, yeah. And let's say, dude, what the fuck are you like, even Rampage Jackson, who I have respect for as a fighter, I know he knows better. Like, I know he does.
There's no way he was paid 100 grand for that fight. No chance.
But he was just saying it because he hates white people. He hates our people. Period. End of story. So they were pushing, like, the narrative of me losing during the comments, and that can sway, like, an audience. And Aiden apologized for it.
Dude, if anything, that would make me more motivated. It's like, oh, you think I'm a loser? You think, like, I'm losing? Well, okay, I'll show you. You'd think that would be your kind of mindset, but I don't know. This seems like a weird excuse.
He actually just did.
To me, it sounds like they wanted to set him up with a better fighter who could kick his ass, and he just doesn't want the smoke.
Did it a little while ago. He said he was sorry. He said it was unprofessional.
Probably has a few crypto fanboy whales like Sverige. Yeah, that very likely. I know there's some, like, crazy Nazis who, for whatever reason, they're extremely generous donating to psychos. So yeah.
And then they went off on the Florida State Athletic Commission, which was stupid, because if the Florida State Athletic Commission just says, you know what, fuck you, we're not gonna officiate your fights anymore, because they could do that. They could do that. They could say, we don't want to, we're not gonna do it because of the way that you guys acted and the way that everybody was. You're calling the Florida State Athletic Commission racist? All of the judges were spics. They were all Mexicans. Are you kidding me right now? So that's why I will never fight.
That sounds like a weird excuse to me. Really weird. It sounds more like they're trying to negotiate, like, another fight or something, and he was going to fight, like, a more competent fighter, and like he knew what was coming, where he'd get his ass kicked by, like, a big black dude or something, and he didn't want to suffer the indignity. That's what it sounds to me, but who knows. Have you apologized to Durian Rider? No, I think I will. I'll email him. I don't really want to talk to him because he's still a jackass, but yeah, I'll apologize to him. Fuck.
A brawl is surely brewing. It's on.
Forgot my notification on utilitarians. It probably gets boring being a whale. You either fund lolcow or pull an Epstein. Yeah, I'm like, rich people do that too. Like, you know, Who are the fracking industry billionaires? Like, they were funding Ben Shapiro's whole thing. Like when you have so much money and you find somebody entertaining, like, for whatever reason, I'm sure you'd give them money, right? Thanks for the donation. Forgot my namification. Oh, shit. Those... Ah, fuck! Those fucking pork chops. Oh, shit. I hope that did damage to him. Fuck. I got just one more chance. Yes. Okay, we're... Damn! We're almost at the end. Fuck. Shit. That is so weird. I got the parry, but it still did damage. The fuck sense does that make? Ah, motherfucker. Yeah, you can say Durian Rider's name now.
A great slam and then some. It's on.
Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Damn it! Oh, we're fucked. We're fucked now. Yeah.
A great slam and then some. You're up.
Fuck. Fuck. Yeah, oh my god. Those pork chops. Damn it! Oh, those fucking pork chops. Forgot my notification notifiers. Apologize to him for what? Norvegan came out with a series of videos calling him a rapist, and I believed the rape accusations, and I basically supported them. So yeah, it's just apologizing for, like, also accusing him of being a rapist, because came across information lately that that seems to, in all likelihood, not be true. Oh, I just realized there's extra buttons here. Probably programmable. But yeah, that's what it's for. Thanks for the donation, dude. Oh my god. Fuck. Fucking pork chops. Shit, okay, well, at least we dodged it. Damn it! Ah, motherfucker. Okay. Oh, shit. No! I feel like we're really close there. Damn it. Yes. Get fucked, asshole. Ah, no! Ah, damn it!
This match will get red hot. Now go!
Ah, damn it. Oh no, shit. No. Durian fruit does not go well with anything. It just tastes like fucking, like, it's like gasoline. It's like gasoline and garlic. That's the best way I can describe the flavor. It's just bizarre. It also stinks. Like, it is really nasty smelling. Ah, shit! Wish you could move faster. Damn it. Yeah, I might make a video mentioning the apology. Fuck!
This match will get red hot. It's on!
Fuck, yeah, I should just restart.
This match will get red hot. It's on!
Fuck, dude.
This match will get red hot.
Forgotten notification only teller says there being new evidence that she gave enthusiastic consent. Well, yeah, basically I heard about text messages she sent to Durian Rider after the fact, and pretty clear that nothing happened. I think Durian Rider was just like a literal fucking retard, so he just didn't handle the whole situation well. That is so weird. It allows me to fucking parry, but then I still get damage from it. That keeps happening. Damn it, motherfuck. Yeah, dude, the amount of false rape claims are just fucking crazy. I'm at a point now where I think you're more safe assuming the woman's lying than assuming they're telling the truth. Like, it's just so often. It's absolutely nuts. Fuck. Literally every male friend I've had, they've had a situation where a woman lied about some kind of sexual misconduct. It's crazy how often that fucking happens. Fuck. Okay, here we go. Ah! Wish you could just move a little faster. Nah, I didn't ban anybody from chat. Well, actually, I banned one person, but just doxer. Or some face IQ fucktard. Fuck, damn it. Okay, let's just start again. I'll just... Okay, yeah. It's funny, too, I've made some videos calling out women for making false rape accusations. I've gotten messages from women after I've made those videos. More women have actually come out saying women have accused other women of rape or sexual assault. There were 3 women... 2 of them were bisexual, and one was lesbian. They would tell me stories where they were at a party with a bunch of girlfriends, and then one of their girlfriends got kind of drunk. They had like some lesbian kiss, and then everybody found out about it, started talking, oh, she kissed a girl. And then they got embarrassed about it, and then they made up some fucking false claim saying that they were sexually assaulted. And then they ended up having to deal with all this legal bullshit and lawsuits and stuff over it. Like, women even do this to other fucking women. It's fucking nuts. I had no idea it went that deep. It did it again. It gave me the fucking, it gave me the parry, but it damaged me. Like, the game fucking cheats. Ah, crap. This is gonna be hard. Mmm. I don't know how much extra damage those big boom booms make. Fuck! Damn it, enough. That's just fucked.
This match will get red hot. It's on.
God damn it. Damn it! No!
Good day for a swell battle. Now go.
Oh my god. Oh wow.
A great slam and then some. Here goes.
So many are like just right at the fucking finish line. Fuck. Damn it. Fucker with his goddamn pork chops. Yes, got you that time, bitch. Got you that. Oh no!
A brawl is surely brewing. You're up.
Damn it. Ah! Oh, that last part is so hard. shit. Damn it! Oh my god. Ah! Fucking sausage links. Son of a bitch. Oh, fuck. Mmm. Son of a bitch.
Here's a real high-class bout. It's on.
Oh. Ah! Okay. Oh! Oh, man. Fuck.
A brawl is surely brewing. Here goes.
It did it again. It gave me the parry, but it still, like, hurt me. I don't know why it's doing that all the time with this fucking boss. It's really weird. Damn it. Okay, we're in a good spot. I don't know if that did the right damage, but... Ah! Oh my god, it's so difficult! I'm getting tired of looking at this cow's face too, dude. Ah, shit. It did it again! It gave me the fucking parry, but it damaged me. Oh, that's so fucking bullshit. Oh, fuck. Oh, dude, I'd be so fucked playing this on mushrooms. There's no way you could actually do it. I can play Call of Duty on mushrooms, but yeah, this game, I don't think so. Yeah, I know Piper Perry. She does some hot shit. Crap. Damn it. Oh, Battletoads is harder than Cuphead, for sure. Battletoads is way fucking harder. Like, Cuphead's all bosses, and the bosses in Cuphead are harder technically because, just because the amount of times you need to, like, attempt each boss, like, the Cuphead bosses are harder, but, getting through the Cuphead game is way fucking harder. Especially since, like, the limited amount of continues, this game you can do it over and over and over again. The real difficulty with Battletoads is the limited amount of continues, like, that makes it fucking insane. Also, like, the platforming and stuff in Battletoads is absolutely harder. Like, that's undeniable. Fuck. Oh my... I swear there's so many situations, like, you can get fucked over with the RNG, where you just won't be able to avoid damage. Oh. Well, I fucked that up. Yeah, I really fucked that up.
A great slam and then some. Now go.
Yeah, Battletoads is the most difficult game I've ever played. I've heard like the legend of Battletoads, and that blew away my expectations with how difficult that game is. It looks like a stupid NES game for kids, but holy fuck. Like, that will blow your mind how difficult that game is. You really should play it. It's a great game, even by modern standards. Like, but it's so fucking hard. I can't imagine there being, like, a single kid in the 1980s that was able to beat that game. Maybe if you're, like, some Asian hyper-genius autistic kid, but, like, there's no way a normal fucking child could ever beat that fucking game. Ah, god damn it. Oh fuck, we're screwed. Yeah, the amount of, like, pixel-perfect jumps and shit that you have to, like, time perfectly in Battletoads is just insane. Like, that's the first game I've ever played where I genuinely am like, I don't know if I can ever beat this. It is just so fucking hard. Like, dude, that makes, like... It makes Sekiro look like a fucking stupid kid's game. Sekiro was so fucking easy compared to Battletoads. Like, that was a fucking breeze. Especially, like, now that I have the perspective of, like, Battletoads, like... Holy fuck, Sekiro ain't shit. It's just a whole new concept of what difficulty is. God damn it.
A great slam and then some. You're up.
I'm just gonna take a second to, need a little bit of a break.
A great slam and then some.
Yeah, Vince doesn't understand how difficult Battletoads is, man.
Ian Runkle, I'm a Canadian criminal defense and firearms lawyer. Today I want to give a rare kudos to the police for not arresting and charging an individual who acted in self-defense and almost certainly saved his own life. Let's have a look at this.
I heard about Starship Troopers. It hasn't been getting great reviews. Oh, no. Okay. Looks like the reviews are better now. Yeah, the reviews for it at first weren't great. I'll add that to my wish list. It looks like it could be good.
One. So this is the police press release, and it notes, suspect arrested, 3 outstanding after armed home invasion in Vaughan. Now, normally when I read a headline like this, I'm like, oh no. Because usually when they say suspect arrested in a story like this, the suspect they arrested is the easy one to catch, which is the guy who lives in the home, right? The guy who is there and hanging out and who actually called the police to be like, help. But in this case, that's not what happened. So they note, investigators with the York Regional Police Holdup Unit have charged 1 suspect and are seeking 3 others following an armed home invasion in the city of Vaughan. On Tuesday, March 17th, at approximately 12:50 a.m., so middle of the night, police responded to reports of a shooting at a residence in the area of Carville Woods Circle and Crimson Forest Drive. When they arrived at the scene, police learned multiple suspects, armed with at least 1 firearm, forced their way into the residence. An occupant of the home accessed a legally owned and properly stored firearm and discharged it towards the suspects. Now, I have some more questions about that one because Canadian storage laws actually make it very difficult to get to a firearm in time to save your life. And you'll see here, there's some video, we'll see that in fact this was not a case where the person like got time because their door was sturdy. The door is actually super flimsy. So I've got some questions about how they were able to access the firearm that quickly. I've got some theories, but they're just theories. So, and discharged it towards the suspects. So, shot at them. The suspects were seen getting into a black pickup truck, which fled the scene before police arrived. And this is usual. The police take at least 10 minutes to show up, even in the case of a shooting, and so the suspects are going to be gone, right? The occupants of the home were not physically injured. Thank God. A video of the home invasion can be seen here, and there's a link, and we're going to watch it. So, at approximately 3:15 a.m., there's no gore in it, there's no anything like that, so don't worry about that. At approximately 3:15 a.m., York Regional Police was notified that a male had been dropped off at a Toronto area hospital with a gunshot wound. It was determined that the male had been dropped off shortly after the home invasion occurred. And the police did some deducting there. Investigators with the holdup unit have since confirmed the male was shot during the reported home invasion. It's going to be pretty easy to confirm. There's going to be DNA left at the scene and DNA on the dude, right? The dude is made of DNA, so that part is easy. Charges are pending against the male suspect. He remains in police custody and hospital in stable condition. I would like to find out who this is. I would like some more information on this suspect, but right now we got nothing. Following evidence gathered at the scene,
Woman asks me, what is my kink, and then says we are going to cut the sex talk now, as if I brought it up and blocked me. What the fuck is wrong with women? Was your kink, like, I'm assuming it wasn't something crazy like shitting in a girl's mouth. I can understand, like, if pissing on a chick or something, like, maybe that's a little too much for some people, but I mean...
This is so fucking funny. Mother Nailis responses, former candidate for deputy leader, to the LGBTQ pledges of his party. He is now the current deputy leader of the Green Party UK LUL.
Wait, a Muslim was a former candidate for deputy leader to the LGBTQ? Wait, I'm not understanding what you're saying. Why is there so many Muslims that are like It's not a coincidence. Like, it's weird how there's so many Muslims that align themselves with communists. They just want to destroy the country. That's all it is. Yeah. No response. Weird. Okay. Pledge. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, of course. The Muslim. No response. To support and promote Green Party of England Wales policy LGBTQA rights. No response. To work with LGBTQ, Green Deepen, no response. To work with LGBTQ, no response, yeah. Support LGBTQ to make further gains, ensuring provides welcome, nourishing environment, no response. In light of recent Supreme Court ruling, to work with LGBTQA plus wider queer society organization and ally campaign to protect previously established trans rights, no response. Fight for Reform Recognition Act to provide a kinder and less bureaucratic process for recognizing trans peoples in gender law, no response. Support efforts to increase the number of LGBTQA candidates, no response. To campaign for this government to bring forward a genuine ban on conversion therapy, no response. Wow. Stand in solidarity with LGBTQ, no response. Oh, yeah. I don't know when they're going to learn that Muslims are not their allies, but thanks for the donation, Elias.
That is so ironic it hurts.
Yeah, thanks for the donation, Dodo.
By investigators, charges have not been laid against the occupant of the home who discharged the firearm. The investigation is ongoing. So at this point, there are no charges have been laid yet, but they could change their mind. So I could, if they decide to turn around and charge this homeowner, I could end up saying, well, those kudos that I gave, we've got to take them back because they were not deserved. No kudos in that case. But this actually...
Yeah, that's liberal brain rot for you. They just want to protect criminals.
Seems to be a very clear circumstance of self-defense. And from my understanding, there's no indication that this homeowner...
Dude, Rob Ford's a fucking beast.
York Regional Police are continuing to search for 3 suspects following a home invasion in Vaughan early yesterday morning.
One suspect identified as 24-year-old Tristan Casanova Allman has been charged in connection with the incident. He remains in custody in hospital after he was shot by...
Wearing gloves and hoodies, the third suspect in gray has his right hand on his waistband, possibly concealing a weapon. Police say one of them was armed. A few seconds later, a home alarm begins blaring. The 3 suspects are then seen running out of the house to a black pickup truck parked on the street. This man lives right next door.
Didn't sound like a gunshot at the time, maybe not expecting it, but there was something going on in the house.
Police confirmed the homeowner pulled out a gun and shot one of the intruders.
An occupant of the home allows for every person to use reasonable force to protect themselves and their family only when necessary.
That, like, what do you mean when necessary? They're breaking into your fucking home. Like the assumption should be they are very likely highly dangerous individuals that are probably going to do you substantive harm. Like, how are you supposed to know if a firearm is necessary when 3 men are breaking into your fucking home? Like that would be the assumption that it's necessary. Like, that should automatically be assumed. Like, again, this is the liberal brain rot horse shit we're fucking dealing with.
Depending on the circumstances of each incident, homeowners can still be held liable for their actions.
Under Section 34 of the Criminal Code, a person is not guilty of an offense if they believe on reasonable grounds that force is being used against them, it is committed for the purpose of defending themselves, and the act is reasonable in the circumstances. In this case, the suspect was wounded.
Well, yeah, is invading the home necessary? Like, it's just... like, this is the liberal horseshit brain rot. Protect the criminals, make sure they're okay. Yeah, put everyone else at risk.
He will survive. Police are appealing to the public for help.
Our investigators are currently seeking out the 3 individuals that are responsible and assisted this.
He fully supports the actions of the homeowner.
As for the person that was defending his family, he was a legal gun owner, it was stored properly, congratulations. Yeah, I'm glad you shot the guy. Teach us the rest of these robbers, and I encourage everyone out there that's a legal gun owner. Someone's going to come in and try to kill you.
What's fucked up is because of the gun laws in Canada, you always have to have a firearm in a safe. So there's a lot of situations where somebody is going to break into your home where you're not going to be even able to have access to your gun when necessary. It's beyond fucking stupid. So you have to like handicap yourself so that you're in danger, but criminals can just break in whenever the fuck they want. Like, Canada's so fucking backwards.
And kill your family.
And again, what makes it worse is the liberals have created policies that have created a massive increase in fucking crime, where now these types of home invasions are more common, and then they fuck over homeowners and charge them for defending themselves. It's insane.
It was just last week, Jamie, one guy got shot because he was trying to protect his kids. Well, you know, these guys, they need to be shot, as far as I'm concerned.
Fuck yeah, dude. Rob Ford's a fucking beast. This guy also banned speed cameras across all of Ontario. He's fucking awesome.
Owner was anything other than a lawful gun owner, somebody who legitimately owns firearms, and was able, luckily, thank God, to get to their firearm and defend themselves against what was otherwise potentially going to be a lethal or very dangerous attack. And we know that from looking at this video. So here's the video, and you can see what I mean.
Police. Police.
Yeah, and they say police.
Okay, so some things to take note of in that video. First, we can clearly see that there are...
It's Rob Ford, not Doug Ford, and he's the Premier of Ontario. Premier's governor. You're thinking of Prime Minister. Premier is the equivalent of governor. Prime Minister is the equivalent of president.
Armed with a firearm, right? There's a handgun clearly visible. It's possible that it's airsoft or...
Am I insane? Wait. Oh yeah, Rob Ford, Doug Ford. I mixed the two. Yeah, it's Doug Ford. My bad. Yeah, Doug Ford's the Premier.
Or whatever, but I kind of doubt it. Those guys came prepared to... prepared for violence is...
Lies to tellers, this guy is the very embodiment of a Trojan horse. So much yapping of saying my religion tells me not to recognize you as a woman. Lol.
Hi, I'm Jenny Knight. I am a counsellor in Norwich. Over the past year, I have been the co-chair of the Trans Young Greens, and I'm now the Membership and Inclusions Officer for the Young Greens. I have a couple of questions. Muffin, so do you think that trans women are women?
Hi Jenny, thanks for your question. I really appreciate it, and thanks for taking the time to have this conversation with me.
Yeah, he wants to fucking murder you. He's Muslim. That's what they think.
Because there's a lot of noise online, and it's a good opportunity to set the record straight. So what we've got right now is we've got a situation where a lot of people are under a lot of scrutiny and a lot of attacks from the far right, and that includes black and brown people, that includes Muslims, that includes LGBT people, that includes trans people. And what we've got to do is make sure that we show solidarity together, because at the end of the day, when they're coming for one of us, they're coming for us all. Our fight is one, and we've got to remember that. When it comes to gender and when it comes to sexual identity, this is a really serious discussion for me, and it's a really serious topic for me. And what we've got to understand, from my perspective, I look at it through a faith-based lens, and that
his faith says he needs to kill you.
Is something that is part and parcel of my identity and part of who I am. So what we've got to make sure is that we create enough space on the left to be able to accommodate that. We've got to be respectful, we've got to be kind, we've got to treat each other with compassion, we've got to make sure that we're supporting each other and elevating each other's voices, and when one of us is attacked, we're all standing up together. And that's what I've tried to do. Now, I think what the key thing...
Yeah, so he wants to kill gay and trans people. Also, let me see.
Problema, okay? Huh?
Yeah. It's funny how people don't expect to get hit back. Thanks for the donation, Elias.
What is apparent there. It also seems that they had a stun gun, so that's a prohibited weapon in Canada. You cannot get those legally in Canada, but you can hear the stun gun discharging as the person is fleeing, and is apparently fleeing with their hand on the trigger of the stun gun. So there's that consideration as well. One of the other things that is kind of interesting here is that as they're going in, you can hear them yell, "Police, police." So these home invaders are pretending to be police such that people might not, go and immediately defend themselves. If you hear police when somebody's kicked down your door, you might go and walk there unarmed in order to say, well, what's going on? So this is actually incredibly dangerous behavior, because first, it means that somebody who isn't concerned about what's going on might walk into this unsuspecting and just suddenly be faced with a person with a gun. That's a very dangerous scenario. Or, secondary, you might get people who've heard of these situations who hear their door get kicked down and police, police, and immediately arm themselves because they're like, oh my God, it's a home invasion. At which point, if it's actually the police, this is a really big deal. So I hope that the sentencing for this, eventual person, assuming that
they're going to be let out immediately and then they're just going to commit more crimes. That's Canada.
They are convicted, and I suspect that the case will be quite strong because you're going to have DNA from blood at the scene and DNA from the person. You put those two things together, it's going to be a real tough thing. But this is something that ultimately the courts should really consider in a big way. I'm glad the homeowner hasn't been charged, but this provides further support for the conservative bill, I think it's C-270, where they're trying to strengthen protection.
Dude, we would not have these problems if the Conservative Party would have just gotten elected. It's crazy that people didn't vote for them.
For homeowners who defend themselves, because a homeowner should not need to fear the police when they act in self-defense. And quite frankly, the law says you can use reasonable force, and then it lists a whole bunch of things. In this circumstance, I don't think anybody is able to calculate reasonable force. Certainly, I think this homeowner is well within reasonable force by any comparison. But in terms of just like societal benefit, I don't think that society is better off for those people having run out Because in the meantime, those people who are engaging in violent home invasions while armed, I don't think they're going to stop. Maybe they get some deterrence because one of them caught a round, but maybe not. And certainly the armed homeowner is going to be better deterrence than anything the court system.
Yes. If people know that they're going to get shot and killed if they break into somebody's home, that is a better deterrence than, the threat of jail time.
Will impose. But, I mean, if these guys were not in a position to keep engaging in home invasions, I would not be sad for them. I hope they get caught. I hope they get, the system deals with them properly. Certainly these, as much as I'm
By the way, the whole reason there's been this uptick in home invasions is because they're getting let out. Like, these criminals are not being kept in jail. So it's all a risk-reward calculation. They stand to benefit a lot, and then they might get a slap on the wrist. If they get caught, they're going to get let out in a couple years. And even then, they don't even necessarily, they're not even necessarily kept in jail. They just get like some sort of bail thing. Then they don't show up to their court date, and then they lay low and then just keep committing more crimes. It's just what they do. That's why this keeps happening more.
a defense lawyer, these people do not seem to be a great candidate for bail, because even if they don't have any prior record, the circumstance of people who are engaging in this kind of random or specifically targeted, we don't know, although there are no indications that this homeowner was targeted due to any sort of criminal involvement or anything like that. If this person was targeted, it would be most likely because they were seen to be somebody who might have money. Maybe they've got a nice car, maybe they've got, whatever. But people who are engaging in this kind of violence should not be wandering around. This is of great concern. And this also reinforces what I've said in another video. I have a video talking about how to survive a home invasion. And one of the first things I say is you should reinforce your doors, because you see this door, they barely hiccup at it. It just goes, right? And the problem with a lot of doors is that the strike plate is the key failure point. And often your strike plate is just thin, flimsy, like a thin thing of metal.
Yeah, they were black.
Metal with screws that don't actually go into the frame. So replace those strike plates, folks. It's one of the biggest things you can do to protect yourself. And if you can get somebody to have to spend 30 seconds kicking at your door, they might give up. Or that's 30 seconds that you have to react, to respond, to go and protect your loved ones, to make sure they're safe, to, potentially defend yourself. So I cannot emphasize this enough. The first line of defense is not getting your firearms license, although that's a great second line of defense. The first line of defense is reinforce that door so that they can't just breeze in like that. All right, so those are kind of my thoughts on this one. It's a messed up situation.
Canada. Fuck. It did it again. I don't know why it always does that. It gives me the parry, but it damages me. I don't have a PS5, so I can't play Ghost of Yotai. Kind of done with the whole console thing. I don't think I'm going to buy another console, unless it's something like a Steam Deck. Fuck! Yeah, they only made it for a PlayStation. They didn't have a PC release. With Tsushima, they had a PC release. I looked into the DLSS 5. Bro, people are like fucking retarded children. The DLSS 5 technology looks fucking amazing. It basically makes games practically look almost indistinguishable from real life. Some of the, I understand some of the criticism with it makes some of the characters look like they went through a beauty filter. Like, you have to keep in mind, like, one, this is... It's the first generation of, like, that technology. So, DLSS, the upscaling, that was shit when it first came out. It was, like, blurry and crap. But it got better over time, so you can only figure, okay, it's gonna get better at doing what it does. And two, like, even with that, it still looks more realistic. So, it's really cool and interesting, especially if it can be applied to older games. I think the DLSS 5 thing is dope. Like, it looks good. People are just being fucking babies. Oh, shit. Oh my god.
This match will get red hot. And begin.
Ah, damn it. Crap. Oh my god. Yes. Oh. Yeah, I know the AI fatigue is real, but still, it's like fucking dumb. Like DLSS, the upscaling technology, that's AI, so it's just a weird, still a weird criticism for me. Fuck, missed the thing. Ah, no. Oh my god. Invincible Season 4 premieres today. First 3 episodes. Ah, cool. My biggest criticism with Invincible is it just took way too long for Mark to go through that character arc where he realized, like, some people just need to be killed and they're beyond redemption, and you just need to, like, defeat evil once and for all. Like, it was ridiculous how long that whole arc took. It's kind of like the Batman thing. It's like, how fucking long do you need to realize, like, your whole ideology is stupid? Fuck. This isn't technically max difficulty, it's normal. I haven't unlocked the, hardest difficulty, it's just normal. It's the highest I can choose right now. Fuck. Just redo it. This is just a really fucking hard game, dude. Fuck! God damn it, whatever. Okay, we're redoing it. Oh no. Oh! Oh, it's so hard to weave in between some of those sausage links. Fuck. Crap. It did it again. Crap. Oh, we might be kind of screwed.
This match will get red hot. You're up.
Fuck. Ah! Oh, I've been fighting him the whole time. This is the only boss we've been working on.
A brawl is surely brewing. Now go. Good day for a swell battle. Here goes.
Shit. Crap. Oh my god, dude.
This match will get red hot. And begin.
It did it again. It gave me the parry, but it still gave me damage. Yes! There we go. Fucking got him. Fuck yeah, dude. Ooga booga is what I say. Yeah, first try. Alright, I think we'll end things there. Looks like for each of these streams, I'm only going to be able to beat like one boss. Maybe two if I'm lucky. But, hope you all had fun. Big thanks to everybody who donated in Streamlabs. I'm going to stream again in a couple hours. We'll just do, you know, some normal React stuff. And then we will maybe play some more games. But yeah, normal stream in a couple hours, so I'll see you all then. Thanks again, everyone. See you all later. Take care for now.